Welcome to your practice. I'm Jenna Zadaka. Welcome to my home here in Jerusalem, Israel. Today's flow will be for your menstrual cycle. If you have blocks, you're welcome to bring them. They're not necessary, but optional. And also, a light blanket will also be helpful if you have. Again, not necessary. So we will begin in child's pose. On my cycle, I like to bring the knees very wide, kissing the toes together, and then walking the fingertips forward, let the forehead sink on the mat as such. So go ahead and soften the elbows to the mat, rest the forehead. Begin with deep breaths, inhaling in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let every breath bring a wave of calm and ease through the body. This time of our cycle, of our moon time, allows us to slow down and tune in, letting the outer world fall away and giving yourself permission to simply be, simply direct your energy and your awareness inwards. Let's take two more easeful, calming breaths in child's pose. Breathing in, inviting that self-directed energy through the nose. And exhale, a wash of calm as your body relaxes into the earth. One more inhale through the nose, bringing self-love, self-awareness in, and exhale, washing it through your body. We'll take the next inhale to rise into all fours. So before we circle the hips, let's make sure we have a nice structure. So the shoulders are over the palms. The knees are stacked under the hips. And we'll simply circle the hips in big, wide circles. Following the breath on the inhale as you rock forward, and exhale as the hips rock back towards the heels. You can close your eyes and allow each circle to draw you deeper and deeper into yourself. I love to do circles, circular movements during this time of my menstrual cycle, as it reminds us of the natural rhythms of the world, that our bodies are so connected to this earthly cycling of seasons, of time. And it's a great reminder to tune into it, to lean in instead of ignoring or just trying to push through like we so often do. Let's reverse the circles the other way, keeping that breath inhaling as you rock forward to the top of the mat and exhaling as the hips descend towards the heels. And in Judaism, this time is referred to as Nida of our cycle. It's a time of separation. And separation is not a negative thing. We often see it as such, but separation means we're taking time for ourselves. We're removing ourselves from the busyness and the productive mentality of the work week. And we're tuning into our feminine wisdom bodies, which tells us to take time for ourselves, to tune in and give ourselves time to nourish, to rest, and to restore. Nice. We'll rock back to all fours. If at any moment your knees start to feel tender, bring a blanket under the knees or roll the back of your mat so that your knees have some extra cushioning. Let's take the right foot and step it between the hands, sinking the hips in a low lunge as you inhale through the nose and you draw the shoulders back towards the back of the mat. If you have blocks here, you can come up on blocks to bring the floor a little higher, or you can come onto Spider-Man fingers like me and breathe into the hips as you sink them nice and low towards the earthy red soil below. And if it feels available, if it feels spacious to you, go ahead and circle your hips or create a figure 8 motion, reminding us of this spiraling of time. Also in Judaism, this time of nida is referred to as tameh, which some people translated as impure, but that's not actually correct. The actual meaning is a loss of life force. So reminding us of the powerful creativity that we hold in our womb, that this is the place of creation, of all humanity's future comes from this low belly place. And the period time is a loss of life force. And therefore we separate. There's a time to grieve. There's a time to go in. And when it says in Judaism, you shall be holy, Rashi says that means, what does it mean to be holy? It means to be separate. So giving ourselves the permission to separate from others and pouring our awareness in. We don't need to please anyone. We don't need to give to anyone. We just need to shower ourselves with the love and care that we so require. Let's rock the hips forward. And take those blocks if you have them, walk them back with you as the ankle plants, and then hug the right hip in, energetically pulling the heel of the skin back towards that right hip. Soften the shoulders away from the ears, and then reach the heart towards the top of the toes. Lengthen over the front of the leg. Let's breathe deeply here, washing ourselves with this self-love. Let the next inhale guide you forward, sinking the hips. Nice. And then pull the foot back into all fours. Let's tuck the toes and guide the heart forward as you breathe in. Exhale, tops of the feet on the mat, round and curve the spine, and then sink the hips back towards the heel, child's pose. Feel Mother Earth holding you, supporting you, letting any aches or frustrations of the body just seep out of you, falling into the earth below. And breathing in a clear, renewed energy. Inhale to rise back to all fours. We'll step the left foot forward, sinking the hips. Again, you can come onto the fingertips or blocks or palms, but draw the shoulder blades back and down, sinking the hips, lifting the crown towards the sky, settling here or drawing figure 8s with the hips. tuning in to the seasons, to the cyclical nature of time, and celebrating that this wisdom is ingrained in the woman's body. Keep with that breath pattern, inhaling through the nose as you come forward and exhaling as you circle the hips back. We'll take a few more 8s here. And the number 8 in Judaism represents the miraculous, the transcendent. And that's really what our bodies stand for in this world. The woman's body can do something miraculous, create life. And even if you don't have children or you'll never have children, that power within us is also the ability to create spiritual projects, spiritual children, ideas. We can birth in so many ways. We can manifest so much, not just physical children. But we need to give ourselves time to delve inwards and re-nourish so that afterwards we're at the peak of our productivity. We can come back into this masculine world and soar, only because we've given ourselves time to replenish. So let's walk the hands back, lengthen over the top of the leg so the ankle is pressing down, the toes are curling in towards the heart. And then pull the heart forward towards the top of the foot and fold. Hugging that left hip in, lengthening from the left heel all the way to the left sit bone. Tuning in, diving into this wisdom body that is asking us to slow down, to take care of ourselves. And we'll walk the hands forward, sink the hips, slide the foot back, all fours. Inhale, scoop the heart forward as you tilt the pelvis up, pressing into the palms. Exhale, round the spine, navel lifts as you sink the hips back towards the heels. We'll take a few waves like that, inhaling forward as you lift the crown, and exhaling, curving the spine, sinking down. Close your eyes and tune in, following your own rhythm, your own breath. We'll meet in all fours. We'll step the right foot between the hands and then slide the heel behind you. So we're coming into a variation of Warrior Two, a seated, more restorative version. If you need padding under the knee, you can take that blanket and place it under the knee. Otherwise, we're coming into a Warrior Two, but on the ground. So the sole of the feet, of the front foot is pressing down. Extend the fingertips away from each other. Sink the shoulders towards the hips. Breathe nice and deep here. And then flip the palm, graceful warrior. You can bend the back elbow and hook the fingers around that right hip, lifting up and out of the side body. Breathing up through that right side. And then extended side angle. Bring that forearm onto the knee, lift up and over. If you're at a later stage in your cycle and you want some more strength through the legs, you can for sure take this to a regular warrior two. But for those of us that are slowing down and connecting to the earth, let's just stay here, circling back and forward. This time is very purifying as we're releasing this energy of toxins and death and letting that flow out of the body. It's also a time of renewal, letting go of the old so that we can birth new light, new energy in this following cycle. We'll come back to warrior two. Nice. Bring the hands forward into a low lunge. Sink the hips, lift the crown. Slide it back to all fours. This time we'll lower all the way onto the mat, bending the elbows, setting the heart down. Tops of the feet rest. Inhale, cobra pose. Lift the heart off the mat. And exhale, roll it down from the pubic bone all the way to the sternum and forehead. Inhale, cobra. Lift it on up. And exhale, heart to the earth. We'll lift back up into all fours. And we'll take the other side by stepping the left foot forward, gliding the right heel in line with that right knee. Take the padding under this knee if you need it. And then glide the knee over the ankle. Extend the fingertips away from each other. Sink the hips. And inhale, take it back. Sweep the palm over the crown of the head. Exhale, forearm to the top of the knee. Lift up and over. Find your own pace, following your breath. And our cycle teaches us this. No woman is alike in how we restore, in the timing. And it's a time to trust in your own body's wisdom. Instead of getting external validation or direction, rather tuning in and knowing that you are the knower. You are the expert of your own path, of your own growth. We'll meet in warrior two. And you can even bring the palms to the low belly or one palm to the low belly, the uterus or the ovaries, honoring the cycle within, all the magic that's happening, the miraculous. And then circle the arms forward, low lunge to the front of the mat. If your shoulders are hunched forward, gently remind them to pull back. Nice, slide it back to all fours. Bend the elbows, heart to the earth. Forehead pushes down, letting anything seep out of the front body into Mother Earth. Inhale, cobra, lift up, anchoring from the pubic bone. Exhale, roll it down. Inhale, let's push back up to all fours. And exhale, we'll step the right foot through, back to the warrior two. This time the right heel is forward. And we'll lift the right arm over the left. backs of the palms or palm to palm together into eagle arms. And we'll just rock in circles here, keeping that front knee bent. And you can experiment with which circle feels the best for you, going towards the knee, towards the right, or circling the other way. We'll lift up, hands to the hips, heel and toe are in line, and then just slide the hand down the length of the leg. Inhale the left fingertips to the sky, up and over the crown. Feel the sole of the foot rooting into Mother Earth, receiving the energy, the life force, the renewal from the earth below. And then sweeping the hand over the head, reach through the right fingertips, press into that back heel, and then extend the palm over the crown. So from that right heel to the fingertips, you're lengthening, giving so much space in the whole body. Nice, we'll lift back up, rock it forward to the front of the mat, slide it back all fours. Bend the elbows, sink it down, rest the sternum on the mat. Inhale to rise, lifting the heart. Exhale, fold forward. Release, let go. Inhale, back up to all fours. Other side, step the left foot between the hands. We'll start by sinking the hips, and then we'll lift up into a warrior two. Left foot is forward. Extend the fingertips away from each other. Crown is lifting. And we'll bring the front arm on top of the back, backs of the hands or palm to palm, and circle in eagle arms. We often have tension or rigidity in the low back during our cycle time. So this is a good way to clear out those cobwebs in the back. Using your breath to send waves of love down the spine. Extend the arms, warrior two. And then straighten the leg, heel to toe. Slide the palm down the leg. Lift up and over. You can also point the toe if that feels better for you. Remember, everything I say is just a suggestion, but you are the expert of your own body's wisdom. So doing what's right for you at this time, even if that means child's pose the entire class, that is honoring your cycle. Let's circle the arm over the head. We'll align that palm with that right knee and the back heel. Press into that whole line and then sweep up and over, reaching the fingertips over the head. Press into the outer edge of the foot. Feel that nice lengthy expanse. Breathe in and breathe out. We'll lift back up, circle to the front of the mat. Beautiful. Slide it back, all fours. Bend the elbows, sink on down. Feel the gratitude that the Creator gave us this precious time because perhaps we wouldn't have given ourselves this gift of self-care, of time, of rest without being on our menstrual cycle. And yet we were given these bodies every month, this time to spend as a gift to ourselves, celebrating our womanhood, celebrating our life. Inhale, let's lift up the heart. Exhale, roll it down. Inhale to all fours. And exhale, we'll come into a squat. So bring the heels down. If you can't sink them down, then you can also roll up a blanket like this, or even a thinner like this, and then set them under the heels like this, as so. So this is an option. Another option, if you want this pose a little bit more restorative, is to sit on a block under the hips. Otherwise, we'll bring the thumbs into the sternum, press the elbows into the inner knee to really open up and let the hips widen and find space. Send your breath into the hips. And this is a great pose during this time, also to help the flow of gravity. I usually avoid inversions on my mat during my cycle. It's not dangerous. You can do how you please, but it helps me feel the best to really let gravity and let my postures escort my flow downward and out. So I invite you to do the same and bring the hands to the heart and just enjoy this downward flow period, sinking the soles of the feet into the earth. And I usually visualize this earthy red soil that's fertile and moist and full of life. Seeping out any tension, any stress that we hold in the hips, just letting that open and release. Let's take an inhale through the nose. Exhale, we'll wrap the palm out towards the side. So we're really hugging the back of the shoulder into the inner knee. Inhale, sweep the eagle arm up to the sky like you have a big angel wing reaching upwards. Keep sinking into the heels. And then exhale, thumbs to sternum, reset, recenter. Inhale through the nose and exhale, extend the fingers nice and wide. Hug the outer shoulder into the inner knee and sweep the palm high, really deepening into that right hip opening, lifting through the fingertips. Nice. Exhale, back to center, hands to the heart. And we'll set the hips down, bring the soles of the feet together, and really massage the soles of the feet as you massage the ankles and up the inner line of the legs. This is a time of self-introspection, of personal soul development, and we're given the invitation by the source of all life to stop pleasing others for a moment and come into ourself. And then we'll walk the fingertips forward. Turn the river of the gaze inwards. Let the hips sink deep into the red earth soil beneath us, or just visualize it. And relax the shoulders. Soften the muscles of the face. Let the breath be natural and effortless. And bring awareness to any sensations that you may be feeling during your moon cycle, especially the first few days. Knowing that behind these sensations are a river of creativity, and that is our power during this time. If you choose to, you can walk the fingertips to the left, opening up the right low back, and then walking the fingertips to the right. And from bound angle pose, you'll keep the soles of the feet together and just roll the spine down onto the mat, keeping the knees nice and open. Place the palms anywhere that feels good on the body, wherever they choose to rest, possibly over the womb, the ovaries, maybe on the low belly or the heart. Reminding ourselves of this time that we don't need anything external. We are the source of our own healing. And that's because Hashem, the creator of the universe, built us with such wisdom that the healing is ingrained in time. And all we need to do is tune into these cycles of rest, of restore, and of replenish. Let the knees hang wide open. If you choose to support under the thighs, you can bring 2 blocks here or the blanket, or if you have 2 pillows. Letting your hips open and letting yourself relax into the earth. Breathing into the palms. This time should empower us. Although many of us feel shame around our cycles. Maybe we were embarrassed in the past, or maybe it brought troublesome, maybe it felt uncomfortable or disturbing in some ways. So we have to retell ourselves the story of how special and sacred this time is. And instead of it being a burden, it's an invitation to enter into our feminine time of healing ourselves, being there for ourselves. And the more we tell ourselves a story, the more this time can truly be special, a time to celebrate. Let's close the knees, draw them into the chest, giving yourself a nice big hug. We may not be given this time from others, so we have to feel empowered enough to take it, to give ourselves the time that we need. Let's extend the left heel in front of us, away from that left hip, and draw that right knee over the body. Open the right palm and gaze over the right shoulder. These twists help with the detoxification of this time, releasing any toxins, anything negative, clearing it out from the body. So deepen the exhale as we release and let go. Let's rock back to center, knees into the chest, give yourself a hug. And then extend the right heel forward. Guide the left knee over the body, open the palm. Relax the left shoulder into the mat. Deepen the breath so each breath is a wave up the front of the body. And each exhale deepens you into this twist, into this moment. Rock back to center, knees draw in, and then hold on to the outer edges of the feet. Let the knees drop towards the mat. Sink the backs of the shoulders into the earth and gently rock from side to side, massaging out the low back and spine, opening the hips, groin, and pelvis. Letting your breath rock you like a boat to the right and to the left, and perhaps even drawing your low back in small circles. Allowing us to ride the wave of time. There's a time in the month where we peak socially and in terms of productivity, when we do, when we're giving, and our feet are on the gas pedal going, going, going. And then there's a time to settle, to rest, and to delve inwards. Draw the knees into the chest. Take a last breath. And then exhale, extend nice and long in final relaxation pose, opening the palms or letting them fall gently wherever they land on the body. And I'll end with a verse that we learn in Pirkei Avos, Ethics of Our Fathers, that we're studying during this time in the Hebrew calendar and through the summer months. Says that among all of my years with the sages, one of the most important thing I've learned is there's nothing better for the body than silence. There's nothing better for the body than silence. So let's leave our body with this wrap, this blanket of silence as we restore and reconnect inwards. And I encourage you to stay here in silence pose for as long as you have today. There's no rush. There's nowhere you need to be other than here on this mat. If you need to move on with your day, bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Roll on to the left side. Cradle the head in the arms. Right palm on the earth. And then slowly push yourself up into a seated position. bringing one hand on the heart, one hand on the low belly. Take a deep, clearing breath in. Exhale, sending the wave, the wash of restoration through the body. Thank you for joining me on the mat. I bless you to have a time this cycle in your moon cycle to really celebrate your feminine wisdom and to reconnect with your body and what it needs and shower it with love and appreciation. Thank you for joining me. Have a beautiful rest of your month.